Heard them leave.
Yeah.
So are you going to tell me what's going on?
I'm keeping you out of this for a reason.
I am your girlfriend. You can't just shut me out. I get that you're worried about Jai and Mac.
And you.
But there is a right way and a wrong way to do this. Please, be smart. Call Nugget.
And say what?
Say that it's not going to happen, that you've changed your mind.
I have told you. PK is a head case.
So let the cops do their job.
He's smart. There is no way they are going to pin him down.
You don't know that.
Ziggy, just drop it.
I don't like any of this.
You think I do? I hate everything about this, but it has gone too far and I don't have a choice.
There's always a choice.
I'm not asking for your permission, so back off. I'm out.
Dee! Simon and Sophie, hello. My name is Sophie Dillman. I play Ziggy on Home and Away, although I think you guys might know that because you have a Home and Away podcast.
Hello and welcome. This is Coastal News, a Home and Away podcast where we unpack the latest week's episodes and discuss the residents, their lives, and all the drama from our favourite fictional town, Summer Bay. Oh, we're very giddy. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Happy, what are we calling it? Podiversary.
Podiversary? Is that work?
Podiversary.
Happy
That works for
podiversary.
me. Woo!
Yay!
1 year, listeners, grab a drink, grab a slice of cake. It's a party this week. We are 1 year old. I mean, we wish we were 1 year old. The podcast is 1 year old.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're happy, aren't we?
Ecstatic. Yeah. In a celebration, properly celebrating this now, aren't we? So apologies,
Yeah.
apologies, listeners, but we are in celebration mode.
Yeah, we I think some offline chat's going to spill on here, and we're the spirits are high, shall we say? Spirits are high and are flowing.
Yeah.
So happy anniversary, Sophie.
Happy anniversary! Congratulations! Amazing.
You too. And we're something like 28, 29 episodes into season 2 as well.
Can you believe it? Can you believe?
No.
Where's the year going?
No.
Oh,
Well,
it's scary.
I spent way too much of it on here, probably.
That's true. You met me and now it's just all gone in the blink. There we go.
Yeah. Well, time flies when you're having fun. That's
It's
what it
true.
is.
Yeah.
Well, we've been very, very busy prepping this anniversary, haven't we? And
Yeah.
lots of stuff that can help our listeners celebrate with us. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing, and you should already know this if you follow us on our socials, if you're listening to this episode now, because as of yesterday, Friday, the giveaway, anniversary giveaway is open. It's
Yay!
live. It's out there. You have a chance to win a month's free Spotify premium subscription. Not to be sniffed at.
Brilliant. I
Not to
love
be
my
sniffed
music, so
Yeah.
I love Spotify, and also you can listen to us on Spotify as well. So
at. Yeah.
extra bonus stuff on there for us.
No ads on premium.
Yeah, true.
And yeah, so Spotify premium free for a month, and also this is more exciting for us too. We have merchandise, so you
Yes.
can get your very own Coastal News mug and enjoy your favorite hot beverage whilst kicking back on a weekend listening to us.
Or a cold beverage on a Friday night.
Yeah, out of your Coastal News. That's what we'll be doing. So head on over to our Twitter at Coastal News Pod and see the pinned tweet with all the details on how to enter. There's 2 chances to win. And you can also, so there's 2 chances to win the merchandise mug. And also there's an extra, one of those winners will win their very own Al Stewart puzzle.
Yes. Oh, I'm excited about this one.
So first prize is a mug and a puzzle. Second prize is the mug filled with all goodies. So head on over. If you are a paid subscriber, it's very complicated, this giveaway. So let's hope people get this. If you're a paid subscriber and you're subscribed to us and paying your 99p, you get an automatic entry into the prize draw to win one of those two prizes. But you can still enter again, so you can double your chances by heading over to the Twitter and doing the needful per the instructions. So that's exciting stuff. And that ends, it closes on the 4th of August. So you've got plenty of time to head on over there, and we'll be banging on about it all throughout July, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Lovely. Now, what
Good
else
luck.
have we got planned? Yes, good luck.
Good luck. We are releasing bonus episodes, aren't we, on Sunday?
Yes. So there's is there 12 of them now?
Oh, gosh.
Up to now.
There's 12 or 13. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. So again, 99p subscribers have been able to access and listen to extra bonus content as we've gone along, one a week for the past few weeks, and it includes all the backstage scoop stuff that you and I talk about, that you kindly research for us every week and tell us a story that we may or may not know from behind the scenes of Home and Away, and other sort of clippings from our recordings that don't necessarily make it onto the main podcast show. It's quite a good laugh. I was listening to some of them back today, trying to organise all this. So, when you forget things, you've said. You're like, oh, God. So they'll be available for everybody for 1 week only. Okay. Yeah. So all next week during our anniversary week, they're open, unlocked. Fill your boots before they lock again. And you know what? If you enjoy them, why not subscribe yourself? There'll be a new one every week after that.
Yeah.
And that isn't all. Told you we've been busy. Starting Monday next week and every consecutive day, there is a special anniversary daily episode of the Coastal News podcast. So do not miss it. Make sure you've got that notification on for every episode as it drops next week. It's going to be a big, big week of content.
Yay! I'm excited.
I am. Do you know, we've recorded a lot of stuff.
We have. We've spent hours talking to each other. It's been good fun. We've had such a laugh, so hopefully other people will find it funny as well.
So listeners, you've had your warning. Clear your diaries next week because there's lots to get through, and we hope you enjoy it, and thanks for being here and for listening and subscribing.
Absolutely.
And I hope you enjoy the show. Right, do you want your headlines?
Oh yes, I do. Come on.
Give it to me. Right. Tane's balance hanging life leads to an impromptu bedroom blood transfusion.
Sorry. The first one ever on a soap, I think, because it won some kind of... I've never seen that before, and I watch a lot of soaps.
Whilst Dean receives a threat. Rue getting nervous about the operation, but her feet aren't cold, so don't worry. And Theo nearly ruins his chances with Chloe. And Millie starts to recall the car accident that killed her friend.
Yep.
Thank you so much for being a fan of the show, and congratulations on having your podcast for over 1 year. It's super, super exciting. I actually have heard of it. I've seen it on Instagram. So, keep going. And I can't believe you've been a fan of the show for over 20 years. It's amazing. And thank you so much for being a fan of my character as well. I really, really appreciate it.
So we've got Tane, a life-threatening condition. He's in bed. They're not ringing the ambos because I don't know why, really, to be honest.
We don't want the, because it's a stabbing, so we don't want the police have to investigate stabbings, don't they? So they obviously don't want to be investigated on this one because it will just unearth
expose
all of this.
Yeah.
Drama.
We don't want drama.
Well, we do, but we don't want the police involved in it. Yeah.
And Tane's taken a bit of a turn for the worst whilst they're doing this home makeshift hospital in the bedroom, hanging things off lamps. And he's taken a turn for the worst. And Logan's like, do you know he needs a blood transfusion? I'm just going to strap up.
Yeah.
Thank gosh, he's O negative. He's good to go.
Fortunate.
And Flick's like, what?
Yeah, that was very fortunate. That was the sacrifice that we were talking about on the first look last week, isn't it? Because we were like, what sacrifice is he going to make? But that was it. It wasn't a goat. It was his own. Was it type O blood? Did he say?
Or something like that. Basically, don't worry, I know I'm good to go. Just have my nice warm blood here right now. In a very unsterile location. I just thought, oh my god. And then I felt a bit faint and started watching the rest of the episode from behind a cushion. And I think I texted you saying, oh my god, this is a horror film. I was like, oh.
I was loving it. I was absolutely laughing it up. I was like, yes, this is my kind of thing. All that blood in the bag hanging off a lampshade. I absolutely loved all of that. So it's like a combination of hilarious and scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, if this is real life, gosh, this is dramatic and scary. But because it's Home and Away, it's like there's a little bit of, oh my god, really? Are we really going here? Okay, and you just have to go with it, as we say.
Yeah, you do. You've got to suspend a bit of your belief sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, Flick kicks Mac out. She's like, I don't want you here. Get out. And Mac's got to leave the Parata house with a tail between her legs, really, hasn't she? She's back at her apartment, and this blood transfusion goes through. We have a bit of a few moments where Logan's a bit weak.
Oh, not surprised.
Needs to eat a bicky and what have you.
Yeah.
And then it's a bit touch and go. We don't know whether it's works, but eventually all the drama settles down. Tane starts to respond. Wakes up, and somewhere through all this drama, Nick and Chloe have ended up reconciling their feud since Ari's death, haven't they?
Yeah.
And some of the first thing that Tane says when he comes to, and he's had a bit of a chat, and that he's like, you two have sorted things out. You know, it's one of those sort of resolution type moments to a few sort of concurrent plots at that point, wasn't it?
There's nothing like your family member almost dying to make you forget about all the silly arguments, is there?
That's it.
It's one of them. But Tane, how can they keep doing this to the guy? Not be funny. The last time he was nearly dead, it was because of something that happened in Salt. And now he almost died again because of something that happened in Salt. I mean, that guy, he needs to stay out of Salt, I think.
I know.
He needs to stay away. He's just, how much more can he go through, really?
He doesn't look like the kind of guy that's going to miss pizza anyway.
No.
Pizza. I bet he's never eaten a pizza in his life.
It doesn't look like he has. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He owns the gym now, though, doesn't he? Is it going to be a bit? He's a tough cookie. Tane's done really well, I think. He's got the family through Ari's death. He's been really resilient in doing so. This has happened. Of all the people, I thought Nick was going to be the one to worry about here.
Yeah.
Because when he gets the news and obviously rushes home, I'm thinking, oh God, he's had a lot of loss already.
Yeah.
Don't need this.
No, definitely not. No. But was this a vehicle just to get him and Chloe back on track? They almost had to kill Tane off to get the diary saga closed, as you say. But
well, it like you say, closes those two off. They reconcile, but then it kicks off an issue then between Dean and PK and all that stuff. So it sort of closes one chapter, starts another. But the person I feared for watching this episode was Mac, because Logan obviously leaves the house, goes back home, and he says, "There's too many lies. I need space from you. Too many lies. Don't talk to me." She sort of starts to break down, doesn't she? And she's she's probably kicking herself. She's probably she probably is feeling bad. She's feeling guilty. She's let him down, and she just wants him to tell her it's all right, doesn't she? And he says, I can't even.
Yeah. I was starting to feel a bit sorry for her, even though she's kind of brought all of this on herself, until she then decided to go and rattle PK's cage again. And I was like, are we really going here again? He's almost killed your friend. And then she's
I
just
know.
like, oh, I'm going to call him up and get him back. I was like, oh, can we just make sure Tane's all right before we start this again? Like, this is too much. Has she
Yeah.
not learned a lesson?
It's weird, isn't it? Because clearly not. Clearly she
No.
hasn't learned a lesson. And 1 minute she's breaking down with Logan. I'm really sorry, I've made a mistake. I've lied to
Yeah.
you. Please forgive me. Next minute, she's with Dean and she's summoning PK and this is my
Yeah.
rules now. Like, you were saying it the other week. Which is it? Who are you? Is it part of her? Is it her as a character struggling to sort of like find herself, or is it just that different people are writing for her in different ways?
I don't know. It is sometimes like she's two different people, isn't it? It's just which one are you going to be today? And it's not even that. It's between scenes. Scene one is, oh, I'm really sorry, I won't do anything again. I'll never lie to you again. And then the next scene is, right, I'm going to get him back. This is what I'm going to do. This is my plan. Oh, I can't keep up with her sometimes.
Yeah. No, I can't. I suspect people write her in different ways. I think she's really good at the latter. It's not always the right thing to do, but I think if that's where you're going with her personality and her personality traits, leave it there.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean that scene with Nathan where she's in the car and he's like, oh, help me, Mac. These people are going to kill me. Look what they did to your friend. They're going to do worse to me. And she just went, I don't care. And like rolled the window up. And I was like, yes, that's badass, Mac. I like that side of her. But it does get her into that side of her gets her into these situations, which is what's frustrating. So, yeah,
that's true. It's like chicken and egg scenario, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
Absolutely.
Well, there's this sort of standoff with just before that scene, that you're talking about when she winds the window up. PK and Nathan have been summoned to sit down, and we learn that the guys that were sent there were not anything to do with PK. It's Nathan's business, and now Nathan owes these heavies some money.
Yeah.
And he's pleading with Mac again to help, because remember, she used her rent money to help pay people off that were after him last time.
I know,
and
isn't he asking her to pay them for stabbing his friend?
Yes.
It's a bit weird, that, isn't it? It's like, I've got to pay them for. He said, I've got to pay them for last night, and I was thinking, well, you're literally asking Mac to pay for them to stab Tane and wreck a restaurant. Are you kidding?
And at that point, he could have died. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When that happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane ask. Like,
yes.
As if. Do you know what I mean? And Dean's obviously thrown his weight around. Him and PK have this sort of standoff about who's got the hardest boys behind him. Who's the cock of the block? Who's got the hardest friends? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's preluding us to the River Boys.
Yeah.
So Dean has gone home. He's at work, isn't he? And he gets after he's had this altercation with PK regarding the whole Max sitch and Tane, and it's all just become a bit of a mess again. And there's been threats flying around, and in the post there's an envelope for Dean, and it's a picture of Jai with basically a threat on Jai's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
No, that was out of the left field. How did they know about it, Jai?
Exactly. Well, that was his first thought, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No secrets. No secrets. But basically, they know Jai, they know who he is, they know where he is. He's frantically calling Amber to try and get hold of him, and he's just gone into instinct Dean mode, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And Ziggy's trying to get through to him, and he's calling the boys, and he's and Ziggy's trying to say, this isn't the way to deal with it. We can deal with it. And it results in Dean and Ziggy having this blazing row.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? And he says, I'm done. And he leaves the farmhouse.
Yeah.
And the next we see, obviously, the River Boys turning up.
Yeah.
Is that him walking out on Ziggy? Because we've not
I don't
to me, I was
know.
like, has he left Ziggy then?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if we think about last time they split up because she thought he was involved in Colby's dad's murder, didn't she? And all
Yeah.
of that stuff. So, I mean, we don't know what's happened with PK yet. So, is she going to stick by him this time? I don't know.
That's what I mean. To me, and we've not seen them since together.
No.
To me, I was thinking, when you say to your partner, I'm done, and storm out the house, you're sort of
Yeah.
telling them you want to break up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if it's the heat of the moment thing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. That's going to cause another argument, isn't it?
Yeah. That's unfinished, isn't it?
Yeah.
I did like it. There was a scene.
I've liked Dean a lot this week because sometimes he gets a bit boring for me, when he's just talking about surfing and the surf shop and like just going home and eating dinner and drinking beer. I just get a bit bored of him. But when he's all fired up like this, I do enjoy it,
Yeah.
to be honest. Yeah. So I've been loving Angry Dean.
Yeah, I agree. He's got his blood pumping and he's angry, and he's it comes back to that river boy thing. You do not threaten one of us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very protective, very loyal.
Yeah.
And for newer viewers who aren't familiar with the river boy mantra, you do not mess, and they'll be there, no questions asked, as we see.
Yeah.
Nugget and the crew.
Nugget. I don't remember Nugget from before. He must be new.
but all it takes is a phone call and they come and running. They don't even ask any questions because that's the level of loyalty of these.
What do you want?
Yeah.
Didn't they? They're like, what do you need us for? I was like, oh wow, I need some friends like that.
all they want is a beer in return.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they do it. Next we see that it basically explains what's happened, and this guy, it's an eye for an eye, as they say. So next, PK is in the back of the boot of what looked like a really Ford Orion or something.
Yeah. Apparently it was Ziggy's car, because she said, oh, thanks for taking the car or something, didn't she?
Yes, she did. How weird. The other day, I thought Xander was driving around in Ryder's car. I nearly flipped my lid. Their car just looks similar.
Oh, he's got quite a classic car, hasn't he? It's quite cool. Yeah, I liked it. I don't know anything about cars, so I don't know what it is, but I thought it was cool.
I don't. Yeah, it's cool. 4 wheels and moves.
Yeah, exactly.
And PK says, out of the boot, tied up, gagged. You're going to regret this. And Riverboy style, I don't think I will, pal. We just had everything, didn't we, this week? Riverboy, everything, cliche lines.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is what I live for. I love this. Yeah.
And then, Dean's back at home, washing the blood off his knuckles. And despite this blazing row we've just talked about, she's not comfortable with it, Ziggy. But no, she doesn't ask any questions. She gets the frozen peas out the freezer. No questions. And that we've seen that time and time again with the Riverboy women.
Yes. Yeah.
And the men come back from doing whatever, and the least the better. Do you know what I mean? And that's going to turn out to be true, isn't it? Because what happened today?
I know. Well, Justin and Leah were having a nice little stroll along the beach, talking about how Martha's doing in hospital, and then they stumble across a body, don't they? So, and later on we find out, because Rose and obviously they call Triple O, don't they? And Rose and Xander turn up because they're the only coppers in the bay, and they're on duty. Just happen to be on duty, and Rose is digging in the pocket for a wallet to identify who this body is that's washed up on the beach, and lo and behold, it's PK. And we know this because Rose was doing some digging, wasn't she, at the police station, and she came across, I think, a company that he owned, and it says Peter King as the owner. So she had this light bulb moment, Peter King, PK. So, and then that's the ID on the body, isn't it, that says Peter King. Yeah. So she said, oh, the, infamous PK.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So PK is washed up.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, face down.
Yeah.
And we last saw him alive in the boot of a Riverboy car. So 2 and
Yeah.
2.
Well,
Soon get to 4, don't we?
and do you know what I'm worried about? Because before this all happened, PK and Dean had a bit of a to-do outside the surf club, and John saw the whole lot, didn't he?
He did. Yeah.
So John has
Easy.
seen Dean get really angry at some random guy, and then John went straight round to the garage to tell Justin about it, didn't she? Because he went round there to tell Ziggy that Dean's on the warpath, didn't he? And then Justin said, "Yeah, Ziggy already knows. She's already gone." And then he was
Steals
like,
Theo's coffee.
"Yeah, that was so." John was proper scrounging for food this week on a few episodes. I was laughing at him for that. But yeah, I think John's going to put 2 and 2 together when this body turns up and he realizes it's the guy that he saw Dean kicking off with. That's not good for Dean at all, is it? So
Oh, that's not. And John's going to have to sort of give a
Yeah.
statement, I reckon, isn't he?
probably, yeah,
Town busybody there.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, I think Dean's heading for a bit of trouble here.
yeah.
Bit of
I do.
trouble. And Ziggy's going to have that. She's going to have a bit of a moral dilemma.
Yeah,
You know, does she keep quiet because she knows he went out with them with these river boys?
yeah.
Does she keep quiet about it? Does she not? So yeah, this is going to have
Yeah.
ripples, I think.
Be interesting to see what Dean says, like his version of events when they find out that he's turned up dead. Will Dean be shocked, or will he just be like, "Yeah, I knew," or is it anything to do with him? Because I'm not convinced. I know we've put 2 and 2 together because that's what we've been shown, but like Home and Away does this a lot, don't they? So what you see isn't necessarily what actually happened. So there might be more to this than we've actually seen already.
Oh, now you're getting me excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a who done it. I love a who done it. It's my favorite.
I do. Well, so far from the information we've got, it looks obviously to be Dean and the boys, but
Yes, yeah.
who knows?
Who knows?
And they'll cover for each other. Like
Yeah.
I say, loyalty above all else with those guys. So
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how that
Yeah.
unfolds in the next few weeks.
definitely.
Did you know that you can play Coastal News, a Home and Away podcast, right from your Amazon Alexa? Just say, "Alexa, play Coastal News now." And of course, you can still catch your latest episodes on all other podcast apps, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, Castbox, Audible, Player FM, and much more. Just search Coastal News, a Home and Away podcast right now, wherever you get your podcasts from.
Well, Rue, she's nervous, bless her. The op, her and the op is, it's imminent. Finally, thank gosh. And she has a really good chat with Maz, because she's been snapping at her.
She's been alfing it.
She has.
Because I was like, she's so much like Alf. If it was Alf in these shoes, just snapping at people and getting angry because he's worried and stressed. It's like they're the same person. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's so true. But it led to some gorgeous little chats on the veranda there with Rue and Maz, and Maz sort of calming her down. And then Leah has this really good idea to sort of put together as Maz put it, the last supper.
Your last meal. And then they were like, you could have chose a better choice of words there. I didn't mean it like that. Bless her. I love it when she puts her foot in it. It's so funny.
Yeah. She's great for comedy, isn't she, Maz?
She is.
So yeah, they're doing this, and it's all speeches about family and good friends and all that stuff. And it's a really nice sort of night before moment, and then they go into the op the next morning, after being nil by mouth for about 30 seconds, and then it's the anxious wait then, and Alf's got that agonising clock watch ahead of him. Ryder calls in from the cruise to check.
He does, yeah.
And we said we wanted that. We said we wanted it, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. I was excited about that. Oh, hi, Ryder. I was like, yes. How is he? She didn't even ask him, did he? He was like, I'll call you back later. I was like, no.
Like, has he docked somewhere?
Yeah,
Like,
where is he? How's he doing?
things? Yeah. Let us know, Ryder, if you're out there.
Mm.
And then Maz comes along and she's got the picnic basket, the trusty picnic basket that cheers everybody up. And eventually they get news, don't they, that Op is successful. Dr. Jesse's looking good.
I love him.
Looking happy about it. I do, and he said like 3 words. What is it about that?
I think he's possibly coming in now because he's got a name. He's been in it more than 2 episodes now.
Yeah, and he's saying loads.
He is. I think he might be getting a part. I hope so because I do like him.
Yeah.
Keep Dr. Jesse.
Yeah, we like Dr. Jesse. And yeah, Rue looks well. Martha soon comes back, both looking well.
Yeah.
Alf's really proud. A very warm, fuzzy feeling inside watching this. The operation has been a success.
Yay! Finally, I'm so glad this is over.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hope it is.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope there's no more, just drama with this. Just everyone's got one kidney and they're all working fine.
Our first anniversary giveaway is underway on Twitter now. You can win exclusive merch and free Spotify Premium. Head to Coastal News Pod on Twitter now for details on how you can enter. You never know, you might just win. Happy anniversary.
Well, Theo and Chloe are getting a bit weird, aren't they?
God.
Around each other.
Yeah.
I have watched these scenes. I did sort of, watch along. But,
I wasn't sure if I was gonna have to fill you in on the whole awkward drama with they're in the diner, weren't they? Like both sitting on different tables and just looking over each other constantly, and then there's Meryl in the background just watching them.
I know. I must admit I was reaching for the remote, but I did stick through.
I thought about you.
And then, of all people, there's this weird simultaneous friend zone chat between Maz and John, sort of simultaneously giving advice to each of them.
Yeah.
Like soaps do. They do that, don't they, when they're trying to get things together. And then weirdly, I think it's hilarious. You and I would been calling Theo third wheel, and then he brings along a third wheel to a date.
That's true.
What are you playing at?
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, you're right.
I was laughing. I was thinking we've been calling him third wheel all along. Becky, I was a bit like, who is this Sheila, and where's he got her from? And then
at least Becky knew, because I was a bit worried when they first turned up that he was playing Becky as well. Just using her. But at least, I mean, she was obviously awkward and not into it because she kept saying, "Is this a really good idea? I thought you liked this girl. This could backfire. This is not a good idea."
I thought he'd got her off Smolder or something.
Yeah. Oh, we know what happens on Smolder. It never ends well. So yeah. Yeah.
So I was glad he wasn't sort of playing both of them. And you're right. Yeah. It was good that she knew. Yeah.
She was trying to talk him out of it as well, which I was like, kudos, because it was a stupid idea that he got from John. Why? Yeah, why did he listen to John?
I don't know, but I am actually quite liking John, the way John's morphed into this character. Are you? Yeah. I actually really like it. It really suits,
It's funny. I do love it.
Yeah.
He's had some of the funniest lines this week as well, John, because when he went round to tell Nick about his lifeguard, I'm not talking about the Nick lifeguard and thinks it's boring, but he went round to tell him the news, didn't he? And he walked in and he was like, "Oh, you cooking? You making food?" And they were like, "No, John." And then later on, when he was giving Dean that note in the surf club, the one with Jai and the threat on the back, he was giving that to Dean. And then Dean was obviously getting annoyed with him. He was like, "Do you want something, John?" And John was like, No, it's fine. And then John looked in the corner of his eye back at the juice bar, and there was a customer standing there, and he went, "Oi, stop touching the fruit, mate," or something. I was like,
Also,
John, it's just comedy.
yeah, he is. And did you notice when he left, when he got like ushered out of the house by Neek, and he
Yeah.
opened the door again?
I did. Yeah.
To carry on talking. Oh.
I just love him. He's so
Yeah,
funny.
he is, and he suits it really well. So
Yeah,
long
and we
may
need
that
it as
continue.
well. Like
Yeah.
the fruit bit and the bit in the house when he was trying to get a free feed off Bella. I needed a bit of a laugh then, because we'd come out of the heavy scenes about Tane dying and about PK threatening Joy. We needed a bit of comic relief, so he provides that perfectly, doesn't he, between the scenes?
He does. He does.
So
And
good.
it's good to like you say, calm us down. Last week we were shaking on this podcast.
I
Like,
know. I was stressed out. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is good. Well, it all backfires. Chloe says, "Do you know what? I'm going home. This is wrong. This was a bad idea."
Yeah.
And then Theo's kicking himself. He has a good chat with his father figure, Justin, which is what fathers are for. And he squares it all out after some flowers and a bit of an explanation. And they agree to go again, don't they? And do
Yeah.
take two.
Yeah. It's
So
saying
it looks
something when Justin's calling you an idiot, doesn't it? Because Justin was like, "You took another girl on a date. Are you an idiot?" And I was like, "If Justin's calling you an idiot, you need to take a step back and like think, don't you?"
Yeah. You've gone wrong somewhere.
And it was that line that made me laugh when Theo said, "I can't believe I listened to John Palmer. He's like 100 years old." I was dying. Poor John. He gets some stick, doesn't he? Oh
He
dear.
does. Love it though. Love it. So what are we thinking about Theo and Chloe?
Oh, I'm just not sure she's stable mentally at all. He's genuinely into her because he's told her, isn't he? He said, "Look, I'm crazy about you, and I've been crazy about you since I met you." And I think he is. I think he is really into her, but I just don't think she's that into him. I don't know. And I think she's playing games, still lonely, still a bit messed up from, being a murderer and getting away with it.
Do you still think this is all a bit sinister?
I don't know. I just don't trust her. Do you?
Well, no. Can't stick her, let alone trust her.
No, I just don't trust her not to just keep playing games with him, and when their relationship gets a bit boring, just create some drama just to make it spicy again. And I don't feel it at all.
What I don't like is now I've grown to love Theo. I mean, who'd have thunk it? But now I've grown to really love him. I'm getting a bit defensive of him. And what I don't like is he spent most of the week chasing her. He's the one that's gone to her. It's him that had the misunderstanding. And she used the word, "Let's go for a friendly drink."
I know.
That was your word. Yeah, exactly. You use those words, girl. You can't. Why is he the one groveling back to you and chasing you all week and worrying about? I'm just like,
but that's why
one-sided already.
I think that she does this on purpose to create the drama, because if she just said, "Do you want to go out for a drink? It's a date," we wouldn't have had any of this. But then she's sort of flirting with him and then saying, "Oh, but it's just friendly." I think she's doing it on purpose just to create a bit of, I don't know. I just don't like her. I just don't like her.
No.
I don't trust her. I don't think she's, I think she plays games with people just to get reactions out of them.
To be honest, I'd forgotten about the game, game playing and the smirking in the mirror and stuff. And I'm thinking, you've made me think now. Is she capable of carrying on? I don't know.
I don't know.
I
might just be being mean. We might be, that Chloe might be gone, end of that storyline, and now we've got nice Chloe who dates Theo. I don't know, but there's too much going on with her that I'm like, I just don't trust her.
Yeah. I concur. Don't like her. Don't trust her.
Do you know what I did notice talking about Theo? A few weeks ago when we had Maka on the podcast, and Maka was having a laugh with us about Justin and Theo working in the garage, And he says, you know, they're the cleanest mechanics we've ever seen. They've got no
I know what
grease
you're
on
gonna say.
themselves. And then this week, I was just dying because I was like, every time we've seen Theo, he's got grease on his face or on his hands. Or I was like, have they heard our podcast and thought, oh, we need to put grease on Theo now? So well done, Macca.
There you go. If you're listening, changing the world, changing it. One grease spot at a time.
Yeah.
So I did notice it actually. I just forgot to mention it. I did give myself a little internal chuckle watching it. That Xander's doing his usual closeness thing with Millie. Creepy.
It's creepy.
And this is really I'm really interested to see what you think about this week's developments here, because I think there's been some subtle lines this week. And do you remember last week I was saying to you, I think this guy is dark. I think there's something.
Yeah.
And we were a bit like, is there, isn't there?
Yeah.
This week there's been a few.
I think you're right.
Like last time.
Yeah.
And that Millie's saying she's done some digging and there's been an AVO on him.
Yeah,
by some previous girlfriend or something.
Yeah, well, we don't know who it is, do we? Because we've found out more about Millie this week, haven't we? We found out that she's a lawyer and that she works for a really good law firm somewhere. But her boss is also the dad of the friend that died in the accident where she was driving and, you know, she died. So we've learned all of that information this week, like quite a lot about Millie that we didn't know a week ago. But because she is a lawyer, she's obviously has done some digging on Xander somehow. And pulled up a record where he's got this AVO, but I don't think they've told us who took out the AVO and why, have they? Yet.
No, I'm tweeting along to the episode tonight. I think I posted something like, oh, an AVO, is that it? You're not anybody if you've not had one.
Yeah, it's true. We've had that many over the years.
Right. Yeah. I think I knew what an AVO was before I knew what an ASBO was, you know. That is a true story.
Absolutely. We've had AVOs for years. We've had ASBOs for probably 15 years or so, haven't we? Yeah.
Someone was explaining an ASBO to me years ago, and I was like, oh, it's like an AVO on Homer's. And,
ours is a restraining order, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Is it a restraining order
true.
We have here? Yeah. Which isn't as fun to say as AVO.
You should know.
I know.
Not me. You should
anymore. Know. This is why I don't trust Millie, because she's got a legal background.
She's already didn't she say before, she's not even doing discharge from the hospital and they've already started legal proceedings based on a bit of hearsay she's heard from Xander.
She's an ambulance chaser.
Yeah. Don't like her either. Bit dubious.
I don't like it, and it's interesting because tonight, I think it was tonight's episode, Friday, on 5 Star, I think she said, Xander said something like, "Oh, this isn't like you, Millie," and I thought, how do you know what she's like? How do you know this is out of character for her? It was very odd. I just thought that was a really. He said, "Oh, you don't want to do this. This is not like you," and I thought, well,
talking like he's known her for 20 years. Yeah,
she's a lawyer for a top legal firm. You know, not. I don't want to be. Tar all lawyers with the same brush, but you know, they're not all nice as pie. Some of them are quite, you know, for their job they have to be quite ruthless and think about themselves and think about ways to get around things, you know. That's exactly what she's doing. So
because sometimes as well you've got to defend the bad.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to think out of the box. You have to think about getting around the law and getting around the rules and the regs and that kind of thing. So I'd say this exactly is what she's like. So I thought it was a bit of an odd thing to say, considering he doesn't even know this girl. Like, this isn't like you.
And her dad will be doing it out of grief.
Yes.
This girl's dad, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think she is as well, isn't she? She's probably doing it out of grief, and she's doing it out of guilt as well. So...
Well, speaking of guilt, so obviously she's discharged from the hospital and Xander's still meeting up and catching up with her in a really annoying fashion.
Yeah.
Like, just can't get on board with it at all. No. I don't know why.
No.
And then she sort of starts recalling that moment because you keep saying there's something not right about the crash. You know, there's something we don't know.
Yeah.
And she keeps recalling it, and then it's a text message that Xander receives while they're talking that triggers Oh
Yes.
no, I was on my phone. I picked it up. Do you remember
Yeah.
the other week on this podcast and you were like,
I
I really
know.
hope it's not a text and drive
I
scenario.
know. I remember saying that. I remember saying something like, "Oh, it can't be just like a boring text and drive, lesson, because there's got to be something more to it." And then it is that, isn't it? I was like, "Oh, I'm a bit sad that that's what it is, because that's not what I wanted."
Yeah, we wanted
But
something to have gone down, didn't we?
well, it's something meatier than that. But I get it. Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
So don't text and drive. Your friend will die, and
Yeah.
you'll have a stalker after you.
Well, it sounds like she's on the
Um,
wrong side of the road, doesn't it? It sounds like she was
Yeah.
texting and she was looking at her phone. She'd actually gone onto Logan's side of the road, and
Yeah.
then he's
But
obviously
why
hit her
doesn't Logan remember that?
because he can't remember the crash, can he?
Convenient.
Mm,
Convenient for the plot. It's
yeah.
only a matter of time, innit? But then I suppose it's one word against the other. They must be able to tell who was in the wrong.
You'd think they'd be able to
It's
tell.
like
I
it's
don't know,
now
'cause-
turned into.
yeah.
It's gone down a bit of like a pin it all on Logan route, which I don't
No,
think's right. Do you?
it's not right because we know he's speeding, but he could be speeding and that may not have caused the accident, which is exactly what Xander said. He said, yeah, he was speeding, but if you're on the wrong side of the road, that's what's caused the accident, not him speeding. Because if you're on the right side of the road, he just gone straight past you at the wrong speed. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, and Logan's got so much on at the moment. With Tane and Mac and everything else, it's like, another thing for him to worry about.
I know.
It's just mad. Is he going to go to prison?
Yeah. How he has ended up
I
even
know.
functioning, given all the information and everything he's had to go through these last couple of days. How he's
Yeah.
even managed? I've no idea.
I have no idea. I wouldn't be in one piece if I was Logan right now.
No,
No.
same. I think I'm hoping justice will come good eventually, but I think it's gonna be a bit of a weavy path to justice, I think, with this one.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Because we need to find out what this secret is of Xander's first. That's obviously going to be important to the plot. And we know his sister knows about it because his sister said something like, "Oh, we're not doing this again."
Yeah, he's got some sort of attachment.
Obsessive, isn't he?
Obsessive, that's the word. Yeah.
Yeah. You were right. I was kind of hoping he was just a bit of a lovesick puppy, a bit sensitive, but if he is a bit dark, then that's...
Also, I think Luke Vanos is sort of playing him down a bit. Maybe it's because he's new and nervous, and maybe he's not trying to overact. Maybe there's a bit of that going on. But I'm watching him his performance, and I'm thinking he's trying to play him down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he's in his delivery, he's really sort of low key, isn't he?
Yes.
Even when it's quite a hepped up conversation. So I've seen a few comments about him online from other fans of the show saying, "Oh, he's rubbish," and I just think he's playing it. Yeah, but I think it's just, it's his first TV gig. Like, give him a break.
I think he's been really good. I've really enjoyed his performances, actually.
Yeah,
so,
I do.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I think people just assume on soaps if you're not screaming and shouting and, do you know what I mean? Like, you're not acting well, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
I think it's a deliberate choice to play him like this because he's trying to be he's sort of subduing it something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think he's playing it as a bit of an anxious, nervous kind of sweet / secret, possibly. I think that's just an acting choice, but I mean that's just how I've read it anyway. But that's interesting.
And let the actor get into the role, get into the character for a bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's been on air 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And them moments will come.
Yes.
Inevitable, they'll come.
Yeah.
And I actually quite like his almost reserved,
I do.
nonchalant way of delivering the lines. I quite like that because that's made me think, he's a dark idiot. He's a dark one. He's you know what I mean? You think there's
hiding
more to
something.
him than
He's going to be one of these characters that's got lots of layers, I think, which is what we like. We don't like these one-dimensional, boring, It's
Oh my
okay.
God.
Yeah, it's okay
Yeah.
if you've got a few of those, but if every member of the cast is like that, it gets a bit dull, doesn't it? You need somebody that's got a bit more
Yeah.
to them, a bit more depth
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. And most new characters, they need a secret. We have to
Yes.
uncover it,
Yes.
And there's scope for whatever this ABO involves, whomever it involves, there's scope for them to come along as well at some point.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to learning more about him.
I'm interested about other people's opinions on that. That's fascinating.
Yeah. Right, it's time for First Look. A chance to find out what's going to be happening next week on the podcast and on Home and Away itself. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am, yes.
Born ready. Right, you ready? So,
Yeah.
as the murder investigation begins, Mackenzie's poker nights look to close. Sorry.
What? Hang on a minute.
Honestly.
Hang on a minute. What? She was going to have another one.
No, let's start again. As the murder investigation begins,
Yeah.
Mackenzie's poker nights look close to coming out.
Ah, okay. That makes
Sorry.
sense now. I thought
I
you
read
meant
it
look
wrong.
closed. I was like,
Yeah,
are
that's
they
what I
still
thought it
open?
said. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Ooh.
Okay, so
So it's murder,
that,
definitely.
well, we already know that they've sort of identified PK as the body. We
Yeah.
know that it's linked to Flick, linked to Mac, so
Yeah.
they're obviously interviewing them all, aren't they?
Yeah.
Logan finally discovers the full truth and makes a final decision about Mackenzie.
Oh, I saw this in the trailer.
Yeah. I
Doesn't
don't
look
blame
good.
him.
No,
don't
I
blame
don't blame him at all. In fact, I've been flipping between loving Logan and not liking Logan, and I'm back on the Logan bandwagon now. And I'm like, dump her. A few weeks ago, I was saying to Mac, dump him. But now I'm like, no, he can do better than this. Come on, that's not cool.
There's no coming back from what she's done either.
No.
It took a lot for Mac to get her head around the Neve thing, but the Neve thing never.
No.
In his defence, was never. It was over for him. It just
Yes.
wasn't for her. Do you know what I mean? And he was sort of. We berated him on here, really, saying, "What
We
are you
did.
doing?"
Yeah.
But he would never have got himself in that position
No. Oh no.
where
no.
he was willing to save his ass, rather than just have a difficult conversation. There's no way I would be able to come back from that, and I just can't. I just don't blame him.
I don't think they can, and I think what makes it worse is that in the trailer tonight, he doesn't find that out from Mac. He finds it out from someone else. So she hasn't even had the decency to say to him, "I was in this position. I almost did this thing. I didn't do it. I feel awful about it, and I'm really sorry. I know you're going to hate me." She doesn't even tell him. Like, he has
No.
to hear that from. I think that's when it's the end. You have to hear
Yeah.
it from someone else, that your girlfriend nearly sold herself to somebody.
Yeah, and was willing to. Yeah,
Yeah.
like no.
Instead
sorry.
of
See ya.
coming home and saying, "I'm in debt up to my eyeballs and I owe this guy 50k," and Logan going, "I'll give you the money," she almost slept with some guy. There's no coming back from that.
No, absolutely not. Dean falls under suspicion for murder.
Oh
So-
no. Yeah. John, keep your mouth shut.
Ziggy is terrified, it says.
Oh.
Mac and Felicity's conflict erupts. Yup.
Ooh. Is this going to be end of
Reckon-
their relationship as well? Because obviously we've been saying for a while, it's been nice to have scenes with them two together, and not just at work, but them at the caravan park having a beer and having a chat about how they're going to get out of debt and all of that sort of stuff. Are we not going to see those now? Is that their relationship, tainted
Yeah.
as well forever?
Yeah. And you know what? Because Felicity won't want to be taken down with Mac.
No.
See?
Yeah.
Someone's going to have to take the fall for something.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good week, this, Sophie.
I hope so.
Nico starts to get in the way of Bella's dreams.
Ooh, what's she dreaming about? What have I missed?
Bella's dreams photography.
Oh, is it still that? It might be.
Is she leaving?
She's leaving in real life. Yeah.
Right, well, this is her then.
I saw that. Yeah, because I
This
think
her exit.
Lucas that plays Ryder put a post on Instagram saying another one joining the Leavers Club or something.
Right, so this could be her exit then, because he's left a couple of weeks back. Nico starts to get in the way of Bella's dreams. I wonder if she's wants to pursue the photography again.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame her. What else is she going to do in the Bay? So we've been saying that for ages, haven't we? We've been saying that she doesn't have a purpose. She tried waitressing, it didn't work out. What else has she done? Nothing. So
I think she should have gone.
Yeah.
When that photography
guy.
storyline. Yeah.
That was it. New York he went to. Was it?
Yes, I think it was. I think she should have left with him. That should have been her. Because what's she done since?
Nothing.
Yeah, I think that would have been a good. And do you know what? That would have been a good send off for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was that guy's name? I can't remember his name now.
No. What was his name?
He had a thing with Mac, didn't he?
Yes. Oh God.
Can't remember his name. Gone out of my brain.
Back. Okay, so Nico's getting in the way of it. I'm not happy about it. Mackenzie starts things up with an old flame.
What?
Is that link? Is he back? The photography guy.
Oh, do you think it's that? What, already? A few days after Logan? That's mad.
Really, really not liking what she's up to, you know. Self-destruction again.
She's going to go down that path again, isn't she?
Oh,
no.
Rue refuses to leave Martha alone. Dean worries that he's being framed.
Oh, no.
So that tells me Dean's not done it.
Yeah, so is it Nathan framing him? That'd be my guess. Because who else knows Dean's involved?
Well, that's true. Or it could be Nathan, because Nathan needs money. He could be blackmailing him.
And Nathan was the only one that was there in that meeting when Dean was at Salt saying, "I'll get my boys. You get your boys. I'll get my boys."
Yes. Spot on.
He's not been at the poker nights, has he? So that's the only time he's been involved, isn't it?
Yeah, Dean's been well shut of it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Good point. We want to watch that. See if that comes true.
Ooh, sounds good.
Yeah, and Leah interrogates Chloe about her relationship with Theo, whilst Martha and Rue are forced to recover apart from each other. Oh gosh, one's in a van. And Nico is faced with a monumentous choice.
Ooh.
So that's next week. Looks like another good week, if I'm being honest.
Excited.
There we go. Right, that's the end of Coastal News this week. Our 1 year anniversary. Thank you for tuning in all these years. If you haven't, thanks anyway. We love you all. Don't forget the giveaway is live now. You can win Spotify Premium free for a month and some Home and Away Coastal News goodies, including your very own mug. Do check out Twitter at Coastal News Pod. We have an Instagram as well at Coastal News Pod. Also, and of course, we'll tweet along with the episode on the hashtag Home and Away, won't we?
Yeah.
And yeah, just keep your lookout on your podcast app of choice the rest of the week. Every day this week now, there is content flying at you from us to celebrate this monumentous moment of making it 12 months in making these podcasts. So we hope you enjoy them. Let us know what you think, and we will see you very, very soon for another episode, won't we?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.